Alright, so basically, lately, alright, so y'all, lately we've been talking about chemical equations, chemistry. We've been doing like a chemistry unit. So, we've been learning about the different parts of a chemical equation. So, you have the coefficients, you have the elements, you have the products, you have the reactants. So, every part of the equation is key. So, do you think you can have one without the other? No. In order to do it, you have to have all different parts. So, even though you are doing a reaction, your reactants are still, you still have your reactants on one side, and they're still technically the same elements. They're just rearranged differently whenever they go to the products. So, in order, do you think that you can have one side of a reactant? So, you have, like, for example, you have like two hydrogen atoms. Do you think that you can have on the product side four? Absolutely not. No. You have to have the same amount of reactants as the same amount of products. So, since we're doing this, I'm going to give y'all an activity today. It's like a tic-tac-toe type deal. You can either make it kind of fun like tic-tac-toe, or you can just do a regular choice board. I'll go ahead and tell you up front, I have some issues with formatting. So, it looks bad, but it's still you still get the idea of a choice board. So, here's what it looks like. Imagine the bottom row is just connected to the second row. So, in order to do this, I want you to either pick three. You can either pick 3 corners, 3 in a row, 4 in a row. It does not matter. Well, you're not going to do 4 in a row, but you get the point. So, or you can do tic-tac-toe. It does not matter to me. Your first one is called draw it. So, you're going to draw a diagram of a chemical reaction showing reactants going to products. So you can either draw just a regular bond, you can either draw displacement, single replacement, double replacement, acid base. It does not matter to me, but I need to clearly see that you have reactants on one side and then you have products on the other side. Next, you have, or you can do the match it one, flashcards. Everybody makes flashcards. Best way I know how to study. With common reactants on one side and the other products on the other. So basically, instead of writing out the equation with the arrow will be flipping. So one side reactants, other side products. Simple. Next, explain it in your own words. I want you to explain the difference in a product and a reactant. For example, the first part of your equation would be the reactants. The ending would be your products. You cannot have one without the other. Next, balance it. My favorite thing to do with chemistry. Balance 3 chemical equations with your reactants and products. So, balancing chemical, how I said earlier, how you have you need to have the same amount of reactants as the same amount of products. Here, that's what you'll be doing here. Alright? Real life example. Find a real world example. Cooking, rusting, or burning, any or etc. does not matter. And label the reactant product. So, for example, whenever I'm like cooking some scrambled eggs, I'm doing a reaction. I want you to label reactant products. For example, oxidation. I want you to show me the reactants and the products. Bicycle rusting, because you ain't using it so long. I want to see what are your reactants, what's the end product. Your end product be what? Rust. Alright, sort it. Alright, sort list of substances into react or product categories. So, for example, water, you would have, in your reactants, you would have hydrogen, oxygen. Product will be what? Water. Alright, act it out. You have act out a reaction. Students are, for example, students are molecules colliding to form products. So, you can act out, alright, chemical reaction. You can act out the rust on the bike. So, you have it, rode your bicycle. You can act, it's like charades. Act out, you ride a bicycle. Act out, you just sitting, not doing nothing. And then you can act like, or that you're walking and you act like you're crippled because you're getting old because you ain't been doing nothing. Key word, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't riding the bike, the right rusted. Alright, create a question. Write your own question about reactants and products for a classmate to solve. That's pretty simple. I recommend doing that one. It is very simple. All you're doing is writing a singular question for your classmate to solve. So balance this equation. Simple. Or question, my bad, question. Can you balance this equation? Yes or no? If so, show me. Simple. Compare it. Compare physical change versus the chemical change using reactants and products. So, physical change, you got water. You got water, how it goes from ice to the water bottle to water vapor. I want you to show me that physical change. All right, compare it. And then versus a chemical reaction. Okay, so then you have wood burning. I want you to show me the difference in that. All right, well, not showing the difference. I want you to show me the similarities of it. All right, so I've explained all this. I recommend you doing number 8. It is very simple, so you should do number 8. All right. Another one I think is simple would be sorted, because you're just listing some reactants and you're just listing some products. That's pretty simple. I just told you you should do. If you don't want to do those, that's fine. So I need you to create a tic-tac-toe. If you do a tic-tac-toe, I will give you 5 bonus points. If you just pick random 3, I'm perfectly okay with that. All right, when you get done, name on all of them, stack them, staple your choice board on the top, and I want you to circle the ones that you did. All right, thank you.